Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free-For-All. I'm your host, Cody Lashley, back here again with another show that is for Panther fans, by Panther fans. If you would like to be a part of the show today and join the conversation about the team that you love, yes, and probably sometimes hate, I have pinned the link to the top of the chat room for anybody who wants to come on. It's also in the description of the YouTube and Facebook video. But y'all already know what the deal is, man. Y'all didn't come just to hear me, talk about the show, man. Y'all want to talk about the Panthers. So we're going to do it with the boys. You already know him. You already love him. It's Panther Pickle. He might tell you to shut the hell up, so you've been warned. Pickle, how are you?
I'm doing great. To all the doubters out there, shut the hell up. Damn.
Yeah. Hey, all we need to do is win every game going forward, and all of our division rivals lose out, and we might have a chance, baby. Let's go.
Super Bowl, here we come.
Woohoo! Let's go. Keep pounding. Yeah, man. Happy to have that energy. Happy to have you here, Pickle. Next up is the brand ambassador of the C3 Panthers Podcast. You know him. You love him. It's the homie Don. These ill skills. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Cody, man? Good to be with my brethren here on C3, the Friday Free-For-All. Always a great time for the fans to join up and give their Panthers opinion. We want to know what you think about this awful season that we've had and what you think about firing our coach after just 11 weeks, setting an NFL record in multiple ways for the Frank Reich fire. Got my 88 on tonight for the vaulted TMJ. Not really. Actually, it's for Greg Olsen, of course, the next head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Certainly excited about that. Can't wait to see Greg out there on the sidelines with a headset on and bringing Keep Pounding back to this team. You know, I've got a Panthers Christmas tree I need to put up this weekend. Last year, I had a couple presents underneath it. One of the presents was an NFC South championship. Well, we didn't get that present, but we did get the other present I had up under the tree, which was a franchise quarterback. We just need to put a team around them, guys. Let's go into the free-for-all.
Let's get it, man. Look, we're even friendly to Falcons fans who pop up in the chat sometimes. Swarm, what's up, dude? Hey, man, look, this show is a conversation for everything regarding the Panthers, man, and NFC South. We don't discriminate. We let everybody speak their piece. Next up, let me see, man. I got the homie who's been he's been absent for a while, but he's back today with the vengeance. It's the homie Jay Stubbs. Jay Stubbs, what up, bro?
What up, man? Just got back from Vegas. It was amazing. I put all the money for the Panthers not to win. I got rich, so fuck it.
Hell yeah, boy. Sounds like you know what you're doing, bro.
Where's my money?
Sounds like that man knows how to make a bet. We appreciate you, bro. Next up, you just heard him. My man doesn't know how to stay silent, and that's why we love him, bro. It's Jake the Snake. Jake, what's up, dog?
What's up, y'all?
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Just glad to be here. Glad to talk Panthers, even though we're ass this year. But I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, man. I hear you. Happy to have you. And then last but certainly not least, this man is a door dasher extraordinaire. It's the homie Anthony. Anthony, what's up, Gucci, bro?
What's up, boys? Yeah, door dashing right now. Got to make that bread, man. Who is ready for the Baker Mayfield masterclass this weekend?
Oh man, I forgot we have Baker's number one fangirl in here. My fault.
I'm joking. Man. In all seriousness, it's been a tough season. Hopefully we'll break it down for y'all today. Panthers, I mean, at least the Lakers aren't 2-10 again, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, at least I got something to really look forward to this season.
And nobody wants to hear about your sorry ass Lakers, man. Get that shit the fuck out.
Oh, hold on, Cody. Now, hold on now. Don't be talking shit about the Lakers like that.
Like, man, we don't want to talk about that basketball.
Are the Lakers still in Los Angeles?
Hey, y'all better have me sound like Boomhauer, man. I don't want to talk about that, man. We don't want to talk about no basketball. Come on, man.
The Clippers are moving, though.
Anybody from Los Angeles, shut the hell up.
Hey, next up, it's the homie, the best voice changer in the business. It's Kid Rock's younger brother, Wes Justin. What's up, Justin?
What's up, baby? Long time no see.
Yeah, boy. How you feeling, bro?
Welcome back, Wes.
Pretty good, pretty good. How's everybody been?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to have you back on another free for all. And next up, we got the man who has sailed the open seas many a times in his life. It's Al the Sailor. Al, what's up, boy?
Hey, cooling Cody right here in the Bahamas right now, just doing some dredge work for the mouse.
Chilling in the Bahamas.
Yeah, what's good,
Did this
guys?
man
How you
say
doing?
Bahamas?
No, I'm not chilling. I'm working.
Oh yeah. Excuse him. He's working in the Bahamas. Yeah.
All right. So listen, man, if you would like to join, the link is in the description. If you want to be a part of the show, we appreciate y'all. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Gentlemen, let's jump into the show today. I have titled it, Can Bill Belichick Save the Carolina Panthers? That's right. There are already reports, even coming from the Boston Globe, that speculate that longtime New England head coach Bill Belichick could wind up at the Panthers' helm next season. There was reports that he already knows where he wants to go, that they're going to come to a mutual parting of ways at the end of the season this year between Robert Kraft and the Patriots and Bill Belichick. My question, very simply, to all of you, would Bill Belichick even come to the Carolina Panthers? And number two, would you want him? This is your show. Y'all tell me what's up.
Hell no. I don't want him. He ain't coming here anyhow because the old man is 73 years old and he wants to go to someplace that's winning, and we ain't going to be that.
Yeah.
Besides that, he ain't been worth a shit since Tom Brady left him.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Is like that's such a Panther thing. Of course we get Bill Belichick when he's washed up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like he's not gonna do anything. His draft resume has sucked complete ass like Scott Fitterer has.
That man's burnt.
But what do you think about him as just a coach? Let's say that it was just to be a coach.
How about front office?
Because he doesn't invest anything in the offense at all. He just takes these turnstile guys and tries to convince people that they're going to work out. He's past his time. I don't want him. We need a young, innovative coach. It's that simple. Those are my thoughts on it.
So right now, according to BetOnline -AG, the Panthers are the favorite landing spot for Bill Belichick. However, they're also the top landing spot for Ben Johnson as well. So, like right now, I feel like just because we just recently fired our head coach, the Panthers are just at the top of that discussion list because of what happened. But, dude, I mean, what are we talking about?
So is Scott not going to get fired or something?
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, Jay Stubbs. It does not surprise me if he doesn't fire Fitterer. I think Fitterer is the yes man. And
well, I'm saying, like, shouldn't he already be fired? If we're being honest.
Yeah,
that's my point.
He should have been the first one fired.
I think he will be fired at the end of the year. Now, of course, if we win, we got 7 games, right? If we go out and win 6 of them, then there's a chance he won't be, because by then Scott can say, "See, David, it's not me. It's not the guys I bring here. It was bad coaching all along." Now,
but I got a question: Is this Belichick coming for like the coach or like be a run the front office?
Well, no one knows. I mean, right now,
I'll take him in the front office for sure.
No,
no. See, that's where I disagree. I would take him as a coach with a new GM, but I wouldn't take him as a coach GM though, because he sucks at it.
The general consensus around Belichick is that he's a great head coach, but a terrible general manager. A lot of people blame their current woes right now on his inability to draft consistently up there. I wanted to add this. I wanted to add some of this. I wanted to add some of this lumber to the fire. Part of the reason why this is trending again, Cam Newton and Big Cat from Barstool, they were on a podcast, and Cam Newton is quoted as saying, "I think David Tepper, knowing what I do know, He's hoping that he can land Bill Belichick. That right there would be a win for David Tepper. He would go on to say the reason Bill Belichick could agree to come is Tepper will give him full general manager control. The thing that I know would be enticing, would be the enticing allure to it, is because Tepper will give him everything that he would need, and also will allow Belichick to say, you know what, things didn't work out with the Patriots. Now I can show you what I can do somewhere else.
And
So,
Cody, don't forget that David Tepper's rich.
Oh, 100%. David Tepper's about to bend over and start twerking for Bill Belichick.
Bro, he's gonna give him a blank check.
Are we sure? Because Bill Belichick's gonna call him an idiot when he tries to have the weekly meetings.
And this whole thing doesn't say. Cam didn't say. Cam's just guessing. And the only reason why it's hit the media rounds is because it's Cam Newton talking about Bill Belichick.
His podcast is wild, by the way.
I know.
It is. I listened to it some.
Did y'all watch it today?
I just saw a clip of this Austin White one.
And it's not.
Dude, that dude is insane.
It's not surprising that Cam Newton is pictured here with Bill Belichick. Now, all that being said, if they bring Bill Belichick in, then by God, you got to go break the bank and bring in Alabama's own Nick Saban.
Oh, Lord, what are we doing?
Hell yeah. Let's get the title. The old men, the nursing home has returned.
No, this is no country for old men over here.
Yeah, it is.
That's what this is.
What was that movie with?
We need to bring in Nick Saban.
If Bill Belichick comes here, I'm legit the
old ass mobsters.
But I'm legitimately checked out next season because he's going to be drafting a bunch of.
I will too, buddy. I will too.
Like what are we?
But yeah, aren't y'all being a little bit dramatic right now? Are you going to tell me that you're really going that you're really going to cry about the best coach statistically of all time? With all those Super Bowls, like, don't y'all think y'all could do a lot worse?
He's a fraud. Tell me one time he's won without Tom Brady.
He all we do is get people that are fired or
bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I used to hate on Brady and say that Brady was a man. But Belichick looking suspect, bro. He's looking suspect without Tom. I hate to say that, but damn.
But you also don't have the quarterback, too, man. I mean, that's also on them.
He drafted the guy.
He's not going to be able to surround Bryce Young with talent.
He drafted. They got 3 quarterbacks up there. He drafted 2 of them and signed the other in free agency. All of a sudden, they ain't his guys. If they ain't his guys, he ought not draft them.
But
when did Mac Jones get drafted, though?
But hold up. What if you bring Bill Belichick here? You also bring Bill O'Brien, which I know a lot of people don't want. But again, you're talking about the literal play caller for Bryce Young in this Heisman winning season.
Going on my shit, bro.
And by the way, of all of the Bill Belichick disciples, Bill O'Brien has been the most successful out of any of them, other than Mike Vrabel. Him and Mike Vrabel are about 1 and 2 in that respect. But I mean, listen, if he could make this happen, y'all really think that this is just a 100% terrible move to make? No possible upside.
Yeah, I think so, Cody.
Yes, because Tepper raved about how he wants to coach for 20 years. Bill ain't going to be around for 20 years, bro. And y'all are just ignoring the fact. Look at his draft resume the past 4. I'm pretty sure the 2022 draft is one of the worst drafts I've ever seen, dude. Like, it is absolutely terrible.
Well, he's never really drafted well. He just had.
Well, he did in his heyday back 15 years ago.
A lot of
he was fine on the other team and shit.
And real quick, whoever has their microphone going, and if you have background noise, you need to mute your microphone whenever you're not speaking. We're not trying to hear a bunch of background noise. Yeah, man, hear everybody's television going, phones and shit like that.
But back in the day, Bill Belichick didn't have complete roster control. He actually had a GM back in the day.
Yeah. Right. So, but in my mind, wouldn't like if you're Bill Belichick, wouldn't you want someone that you can kind of delegate that stuff to? Like, especially at this point in your career. I mean, I don't know, man.
He's made his crackhead son a fucking coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, and honestly, to be a reality, I really think this is all bullshit. I really do. I think this is all hyperbole bullshit. I think if Bill Belichick wants to go anywhere, he is going to go somewhere he can win. And whether people like it or not, the best place to go is the Chargers.
Yeah.
And that's where he'll go.
Assuming they fire Brandon Staley, which a lot of people think they will.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how San Diego's fucking that up. That's crazy.
You mean Los Angeles?
Yeah, my bad.
Hey, man, real quick, let me welcome in some more people to the free-for-all. It's my homie Evan from Evan Sports Talk. Evan, what's up, dude?
What's up, y'all? Been a while.
Go Tigers, baby. Oh, I can't get Go Tigers in return?
Go Tigers.
Damn, yeah.
It was falling the window, bro, when you said that shit.
Don't just leave me hanging, bro. Come on, man.
Hey, my bad.
Next up, let me...
when is Clemson playing this weekend?
Pickle, shut your ass up.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot. They ain't. Okay,
When's
Tennessee
playing?
Shut the hell up.
When's Tennessee playing?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're not.
They ain't. I tell you that straight up. They don't
I need the soundboard like Tony has. Shut the hell up. All right. Next up, we got Dominic joining the free for all. Dominic, what's up?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, Cody? What's up, guys? Hey, this is my first time calling into the show for the Friday free for all. So,
hey, appreciate having you, man. Happy to have you on the free for all, man. Tell me what you think about the potential of the Panthers landing Bill Belichick. Would Bill even come here, and would you want him to be here?
I mean, honestly, man, don't get me wrong. I mean, just the name alone, I mean, kind of gets you going a little bit. But I'm kind of on like Anthony's side. It's like kind of, he hasn't really drafted well. I mean, honestly, I mean, literally once Brady left, I mean, what has he done?
Yeah, nothing.
And what gives you a reason he's going to draft here? Nothing. Unless
remember that one year they did make it to the playoffs with Matt Jones, though.
Yeah, in the one year he had some decent talent, but it was mainly they had like a top 2 defense. Listen, I don't want Bill Belichick here. He's literally just gonna take the same guys we have, and he's gonna be like, okay, Bryce Young, go make it work. It only worked with Tom Brady because Tom Brady is the GOAT, and Tom Brady always had a top 10 offensive line. And we just don't have any of that. We need a roster builder. We need a GM and an innovative young head coach to come in at the same time. Now, everyone keeps saying, is Fitterer going to get fired? I'm with Pickle. I think he's going to be canned at the end of the season. And I'll lean into this. Why are we signing guys like Gabe Jackson and Shaquille Griffin 13 weeks into the season? Tepper clearly told him something like, dude, you gotta string some wins together here. I'm canning your ass too. That's what I think. But yeah, go to the whole point. I don't want Bill Belichick here. It's just I'm tired of getting washed up and hand-me-down guys or coaches that were fired. There's a reason that they're parting ways with him. If he was still
right.
at the top of his game, there wouldn't be any rumors of this. He's going to go to a team with an established team, and they just need a coach. He's going to go to like the Chargers.
Yep.
That's
let's be real. Come on, David Tepper and Bill Belichick. You know that's not going to mesh.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That would be the only entertaining part of it.
Well, for that reason alone, that was one of the reasons why I don't think Jim Harbaugh would come here. Like if it's the same thing with Belichick and Harbaugh. If they're going to come into this organization, both of them are going to want control similar to what was given to Matt Rule. And obviously you can say these guys are deserving of that kind of control, whereas Matt Rule never was. But at the end of the day, like if you want that type of experience, you're probably going to have to give up that kind of power,
Cody,
in the process.
Right. Are you saying that David Tepper's P. Diddy all in the video?
Yeah, he's dancing in the video, all up in the video, bro. Yeah, David this is David Tepper's show, man. He wants you to know that he is the star of this show.
Come to death row.
Yeah, man. And hey, real quick, while we're kind of on the subject, what did everybody feel about the reports? And I kind of feel like this is what happens nowadays, anyways. But the Panthers players didn't even know that Frank Reich had been fired until they found out, like we did, on social media, just like everybody else, man. There was some clips of Frankie Lulu and DJ Chart talking about it. And what do y'all think about that, man? Do you think there should be a better system in place for
Mr. Burns, bro?
Know?
Mr. Burns, that's what he does, bro. He just fired him and didn't tell nobody.
Yeah, right. You need it.
I really don't have any problems with it. I mean, let's be real. If they were going to cut a player, they wouldn't tell anybody. Steve Smith got cut by the Panthers after all he did, and he got a telegram in the freaking.
Yeah, but you got to go to the team leadership, though. Like that's, you know what I mean? I guess there's no leadership. I guess.
Think, but I mean, I don't. I mean, I just don't have an issue with it. I guess.
Pickle. You've been a fan a long time, like I have, man. This is one of the worst situations we've ever been in.
You're right.
Ever.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, I know the other day I was in a conversation, or I heard him talk about it, and it reminded me that actually that the Clausen year was worse than this year statistically for the Panthers.
Yeah, offense. But we understand.
That is true. But we
was that the lockout year?
Yeah. We knew what had taken place. We knew why we were bad.
The roster was old. The roster was old, and it was a rebuild. That's why.
No, it was Gary Richardson prepared fully for a lockout, bro. That's all that was.
He cut every fan favorite a few weeks before that, and literally told the GM, "You cut everybody you can, and you save all the money you can." I mean, he absolutely refused to pay any coach any money. If you were under contract, you stayed here. Winning was not an option though that year. That fans were just told to deal with it.
But like, do you see what I'm saying? Like how,
like they're trying to win now.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like every time a coach is fired, the players are always finding out just like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they never. Yeah, everybody figures shit out on the internet now. That's where you find out about everything. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Right.
But hey, man, listen, we're going to be very loose today in terms of the shit that we're talking about. So we can bounce around all we want. Like, obviously, the head coach, that's going to be a big deal. So I want some suggestions for y'all as to, who you're looking at. Tell me some reasons why. But we're also going to get into our expectations for the Panthers now that Chris Tabor is in the reins, is the head coach. Like, what are the chances that Chris Tabor, much like a Steve Wilkes last year, what's the chances that he's able to find some juice in this team and kind of turn things around? Let's actually start with that and what we feel for the team going forward. And I'm going to start with the homie D's little skills. D's, how are you feeling about the chances for the Carolina Panthers going forward, brother?
Well, they keep saying we're going to catch a dead cat bounce. And I don't know if you guys watch stocks, but sometimes when a stock falls a lot, it'll bounce back up a little bit. And that's the time you want to get out of it so you don't take the greatest losses. We saw that happen with the Raiders this year. They fired their head coach and GM, which I wish we had as well. And they were able to rattle off a couple wins, even though over some bad teams. But guess what? The Carolina Panthers play in a bad division. We've got 4 divisional games left. I would at least hope to think that we could split. Come back on the Falcons, get a win on them, get a win on the Saints, and split here with the Bucs at least. Now I don't know if that win will be coming this Sunday or not, but I feel like that's kind of our best chance, even though we're on the road, because from the interviews and things I heard of the players, they sounded kind of excited about Tabor being the head coach because he's not the same as Frank Reich. Frank Reich is that preacher kind of that Sunday school teacher. Yeah, kind of. And plain vanilla, just like we talked about his play calling was as well. But they said that Tabor was able to interject some life in some jokes and humor, but still be professional at the same time. And I don't know that that's going to have the same effect that Steve Wilkes did, but maybe it's just enough to take care of the Bucs this Sunday. What do you think?
Oh man, maybe, and you know what? Another thing about it, this division is not good. And again, I'm not trying to go back to Bill Belichick, but that's another thing you have to consider too. When everybody talks about how bad the team is, how bad the owner is, when you look at things in context, it's not like there's a lot of world beaters right now in the NFC South.
Right
so
now,
you're talking about but you're talking about an easier landscape that a lot of these coaches are going to see as fertile ground in order to be competitive. And again, let the Carolina Panthers fuck around and win one of these games that we're not supposed to win. You never know, man. All it takes is one flash from this offense or for Bryce Young or from him rather to show that there's a sign of life, that there is something to be built upon here.
I agree with that, but I don't agree with I've been on the bad division thing all year, trust me. But the Falcons and the Bucs and even the Saints, their roster is like, not the Saints, they're in cap. They're gonna have to eat their crow soon. But the Falcons and Bucs are legitimately like a couple pieces and a quarterback away from running this shit. I'm sorry. Like we may think we have the quarterback but he doesn't have anything around him. So like if Belichick comes in, is he going to be able to build the roster? I'm not sure, man. I'm really not.
I just don't see it. And honestly,
hey, real quick, Pickle, did you tell me Pickle? Did you say Horn was available? I know you looked up the injury report.
He's questionable. He's questionable.
So Kenneth with the 499.
Tell you. Yeah, they're not going to tell you right now.
Is Horn available this week? As of right now, we do not know. We know that Hayden Hurst. We know Hayden Hurst is out. I think they said Tommy Tremble is doubtful. So
Hayden's useless anyway.
Yeah, they're all doubtful.
Yeah, 100%. He has.
Dude,
I've been. And bro, where's White Chocolate's ass, man? I've been so disappointed with Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, that's a separate.
Well,
that's a Gamecock for you.
That's your own fault because he a Gamecock. You already know nothing.
I know, Pickle. I should know better, shouldn't I?
Kind of like, well, JT Horn's a Gamecock, right?
Now
we know why he's hurt all the time. Oh,
at least he ain't Clemson Tiger.
Shut your ass up, Jay. Anyway, so look, y'all saw this. Tommy Tremble, doubtful. Hayden Hurst out Sunday. They made this meme. You cannot live with your own failure. And Ian Thomas, where did that bring you? Back to me.
Damn. That's so wrong. Just because it's not Ian Thomas over here. That's just so wrong.
Cody, I hate to say this, man.
You're in bad shape if you depended on him to help you out.
I'm fully prepared to give this first pick to the Bears, bro. Sorry.
You better be, man.
I've already prepared myself.
It's just good that they slowly get out of range of Marvin Harrison. Every time they win, I'm happy because they keep getting that. Unless they take him number one. Every time they win, they keep getting more and more out of range for him.
I think they're moving on from Justin Fields. They have 2 picks.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think, dude, Justin Fields has.
Dude, he fucking sucks, bro.
And if you're gonna have a chance at Caleb, I mean, again, think what you will about the rumors of them, but either Drake May or Caleb Williams, they're gonna recoup on a quarterback, and it's a deep year for wide receivers, which is good for Carolina because hopefully one falls to 33, right where we're picking. But there's going to be a lot of receivers. They don't have to take Marvin Harrison this year. They could take Jake's boy. What's your LSU
receiver? They better take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Jake, what's your LSU receiver?
He's going to be the first.
That dude, nice.
Yeah, Neighbors.
Neighbors is a dog, man.
I'm taking Harrison.
But Marvin is
Harrison's going to be the first off the board.
Marvin Harrison is next year with this Kyle McCord dude that sucks. He is the real deal, man. He's worth the first.
Marvin Harrison is a generational wide receiver.
Dude, Anthony, you really think Marvin Harrison's not going to come out this year? I don't buy that for a minute.
He better come. He'd be dumb as fuck if he didn't.
I really believe Marvin Harrison.
He's going top 5, bro.
They say that all the time though. Like, remember Stroud didn't declare till like the last week of the deadline. Like they do that all the time. Like
but that's what I'm saying. Like nobody really expects Marvin Harrison to not enter the NFL. You know?
Yeah, bro. He's going top 5. That's at least
top 5. Absolutely.
All right, dude. Shout out to Leo Factor. He's a Bears fan. He can be honest with us. He says, as a Bears fan, we're all rooting so hard for the Panthers to lose so we can load up with talent. I'm sure you are, man. And another thing that boys, another thing that we don't talk about enough is that we're sending them our 2nd round pick next year, too.
Another one.
You know what? Hey, Leo, my friend, you're in here a lot. And don't take this personal, buddy. Really don't. But shut your ass up. Nobody wants to hear you Bears fans.
Hey, Leo, you don't have to root for us because we're going to lose anyway, bro.
But for real, take care of DJ Moore, bro. We missed the fuck out of him right now.
That dude is a wide receiver 1. I told y'all he isn't replaceable, man. He isn't replaceable.
He's been good since Brian Urlacher.
He's replaceable. We just weren't able to do it.
Screamed, we got to trade everything we could possibly trade to move up to draft a quarterback.
Tell him, Pickle.
That's not.
Them Devin Hester days hit different for the Bears, didn't it?
I agree. It was a lot, but there's 2 things. One, you should have traded Burns because you would have saved more.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to pay.
I told y'all, bro.
And you know what?
If you're drafting a quarterback, you keep his only weapon. And the second thing is, how is Fitterer not going to be fired for handing them the 1st overall pick?
Exactly.
Like,
he should already be fired, bro, if I'm being honest.
Because it wasn't
I'll vote for Fitterer. He needs to be fired.
It wasn't just Fitterer. It was David Tepper. So essentially, David Tepper would be firing Fitterer for something that David Tepper did.
The man behind the curtain?
That's why it makes sense, because he doesn't want to take the responsibility of anything he does. That's how meddling owners are. So
Mr. Burns,
Anthony,
bro, I'm telling you.
Anthony, then by your own reasoning, why are you expecting that David Tepper is going to fire fucking Fitterer?
Because if we give them the 1st overall pick, David Tepper is going to look like a laughingstock, which he already does. And then there's going to be media. There's going to be tons of reporters asking, how do y'all feel about giving them the 1st overall pick? You know who he's going to blame the blame on? Scott Fitterer. That's who he's going to blame the blame on, because he's going to be like, Scott Fitterer, you told me this quarterback can do this with garbage. Why didn't we keep our only receiver? Why haven't you played Bryce Young? There is tons of questions that David Tepper could be asking this man. And I think he's only keeping him to the end of the season to see if we can somehow compete in this division. I think that's the only reason. And that's why I said earlier, I'll let you go. Sorry. That's why I said earlier that he's signing guys like Gabe Jackson and Shaquille Griffin in week 13. There is no reason for a 1-10 team to be doing that shit unless someone is on a job, is about to lose their job. That's what I honestly think. I could be wrong, but that's my take on it.
I just don't.
Go ahead. Let's let Dominic get in. Go ahead, Dominic.
Go ahead.
I just don't know how Fitterer is surviving 2 coaching changes. I'm just not understanding it. I'm just like, he's gave up a 1st round pick, literally 1-10, the worst team in the league, and then on top of that, you give up your 2nd. We could have 2 seconds this year.
Yeah. We could have Reddick and Gilmore, bro.
Exactly.
Imagine going into this draft with all the picks you got from McCaffrey and your original picks. Imagine what you could have took.
I can only imagine.
And go back and look at the draft picks you could have, because that's what you should have did. You shouldn't have traded up at all.
No,
Pickle, what's your name? Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you didn't.
You're damn right. But that goes when we go back to Tepper, or goes back to Frank Reich. Shit. Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer is a moron above morons. A while ago, somebody in the chat mentioned that David Gettleman is better. No, they both were kind of stupid. The only difference is Jerry Richardson was a better owner than David Tepper. Jerry Richardson might have been a cheap bastard.
especially on shaving night.
But after all, he gave after this earlier failures on Hurney, he wasn't letting Gettleman trade that first round.
Hey, but you know what Jerry Richardson knew how to do? Disappear.
Hurney was a yes man, though.
It was a rare occasion. It was a rare occasion. If you ever heard Jerry Richardson say a damn thing, and by the way, whenever a coach was fired or a general manager was fired, Richardson would put out a statement, and then boom, it was over with. You never heard of that, man.
Hey, I want to add something real quick. The whole reason I wanted to trade up for Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, any of them, was because I thought that since based on what I saw last year and what Wilk showed us, the blueprint of how you can win games with this team, I thought that they were going to potentially keep Foreman, run the ball, and have Bryce Young pretty much be an upgraded version of Sam Darnold. Turns out that's not what Reich wanted to do. That was part of the reason, too. I thought the quarterback could even elevate us more, but the roster dysfunction we have now and everything going on, it's like, man, they just scrapped anything that worked last year and said, no, we're going to do it my way, which sucks being a fan. Because, like, you see a blueprint of how the offense can be good, and Reich just didn't want to do it that way.
Right.
So maybe Thomas Brown runs the ball more. Maybe Caldwell runs the ball. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of potential if Chris Tabor can get this team doing what it's meant to do, which is run the football.
I mean, run the RPO, for God's sake.
Dude, I know, that's what I'm saying. We might be able to get a few W's out of this offense yet if we do what our identity has always been, running the football. And let me bring in my man. You might know him from the What's Up Doug show on YouTube. It's the homie C. Dougie. He's been hanging out with us. C, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Cody?
Chilling, man. Talking about these Panthers and whether or not we can, what are the chances that we can string together a couple of W's with this team the way it is right now?
So for me, I'm hearing, Scott Fitterer's name. I've heard Gettleman's name. A lot of people talking about past regimes, current regimes. For me, you can't put weight on wins and losses right now. This roster was built depleted. We thought this roster was built in the right direction. You have a lot of people coming off injury reserve. You have a lot of people coming off of injuries that are actually getting healthy. JC Horn, Tommy Tremble just went on the injury, got injured, won't be playing. So it's like vice versa. I put plug and play. We plug one person, then we lose another person. But for me, I think Chris Tabor will have that Steve Wilks mindset win the day. I know a lot of people have been saying they do see a similarity of Steve Wilks and Chris Tabor. But for me, you cannot put this on weight of wins and losses. A lot of people are saying, hey, we can still win the South. We weren't thinking about that when we fired Frank, right? So why think about it now? I really think you have to take this week by week, game by game. This is about progression. This is about growth. What can we see differently with Parker being the quarterback's coach, with Bryce Young? Come to find out, Josh McCown really wanted CJ Stroud. I don't know if that report is true or not. But when you really look at it, you have to take this week by week. You need growth on that offense. A lot of people that are on the offensive line right now are just plug and pull because we have injuries on the offensive line right now. And I really need to see the growth of Jonathan Mingo. Adam Thielen will be here, but that wide receiver room will look totally different next year. Without Adam, with not taking out Adam Thielen and Jonathan Mingo. So it's really trying to see what you have. DJ Johnson, hopefully he comes back. What did they really see in him? He needs to have every opportunity to get every snap that he can get. Zavala is on the IR. Okay, cool. But Jonathan Mingo, DJ Johnson, Jamie Robinson, all those young cats that we just drafted, we need to see what we got out of that draft pick and what we can see in the near future.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to need to see some development straight up. Like, these players that aren't really necessarily doing a lot for us, right now. I mean, and I don't want to say a lot. Like, DJ Johnson has turned it on the past couple games and sort of made his presence more known. But we're going to need to see a lot more out of him. We're going to see or want to see a lot more out of Chandler Zavala, but Chandler's done for the year now. And so it was also reported that the Panthers, we picked up former Seattle Seahawks offensive guard Gabe Johnson. I believe I'm saying
we
his
did.
name right.
Yeah, you said it right.
Do we expect now? Are we all expecting this guy to play? I mean, I'm assuming, right? You have. I would
say this more. The person that I would see more, Cody, is Shaquille Griffin, and I'm actually glad we actually got him through waivers.
Oh yeah.
When you really look at it, Shaquille Griffin was a name that was attached to the Carolina Panthers during the offseason because we needed quarterback depth. But again, we stuck with our corners. We brought people in once we had injuries. But I think Shaquille Griffin can definitely get a starting job with this defense going into next year. This is basically him auditioning for a contract with the Carolina Panthers if we want to give it to him. But again, he has to. Say that again.
Oh, go ahead, C-Dougie. My bad. Go ahead.
No. You're good. The only point I was making is, yes, you can talk about the guards that we signed, and we brought people. One player that I really was advocating for is Deontay Brown. He just got re-signed on the practice squad.
Brown.
I really think he needs an opportunity at least 3 games. Give him
Absolutely,
3 games to play at the guard position. You got him undrafted again. I made this point with Cody earlier this week. You got him as an undrafted rookie, and he did not allow any sacks, any pressures when he was at Alabama. And it has to be good going against SEC caliber players and D linemen every week in and week out. So again, like I would say for me, I know you said the guard out of Seattle, but I really think this is an opportunity for Griffin and for Brown to take advantage of the opportunity that they were about to get and see if they can definitely have film out there for whoever the GM is. And I did hear, how Scott Fitterer, I think Scott is so quiet right now because he has to walk on eggshells. At the end of the year, once that final game is done, he's gone. Because I also think whoever we bring in as a coach, if it's Bill Belichick, I don't want Bill, but I think if we get Ben Johnson, if we get whoever, they're going to want their own GM in-house. And I don't think, again, I hope David Tepper understands, I need to get Scott Fitterer out, bring a GM in, and let the GM hire who he wants, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Get a coach that already has a GM in mind. Like I said, the name I'm gonna keep pushing and keep preaching is Adam Peters. I want Peters banned out of San Francisco.
We on the same wavelength on everything you said, bro. Dude, longtime fans of the C3 Panthers podcast, they know I'm a Deontay Brown fan. Like, I've been a big fan of Deontay Brown forever, man. I've been wanting to give this dude a chance. I felt like no coaching staff ever really did. I feel like now they might be forced to actually give him some looks at either left or right guard. I'm stoked on that. And yeah, if we're talking GMs, Adam Peters, that is my number one. Like that's the guy that I want literally above everyone else. I'll
tell you another name too. Another name that you can look at is in the Philadelphia Eagles branch. No, you can't get their head man, but just look at how Philly's also been able to plug and pull talent away from teams. But again, that San Francisco 49ers organization has been getting away with highway robbery with the talent that they've been able to get with these trade values. And I want to know if it's really John Lynch. I want to know if it's Adam Peters, whoever it is that's behind the scenes when it comes to getting the value for like the Chase Youngs and Christian McCaffreys. Who else did they trade for?
Well, their front office also gets
Randy
a lot
Gregory.
of help from their from their coaching tree, because when every other year you get a 3rd round pick because one of your old head coaches gets
a head coaching job.
That's a day 2 pick right there you can trade with. It's that's big value. That ain't just little. That's big value right there that you can use. A 3rd round pick, that's half of the McCaffrey trade right there, damn near.
This is also why the Trey Lance trade has no effect on them now, because they've been getting free picks every single year.
It also helps when they hit on their quarterback on the last pick of the draft too. Hey, look, if you knew Blastoise for how we referred to Deontay Brown, but we called that man Blastoise around here, dog.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro. That's uncanny. That's uncanny, bro. Get on your Pokemon. Blastoise, that's what we need protecting Bryce right now. Come on. And he went to Alabama. Come on. Protecting an Alabama quarterback. Come on. Right next to an Alabama center. Come on, bro. This needs to happen. This needs to happen, man. And by the way, I said this last time I was talking with Doug as well. If you watch his film from Alabama when they played off against Auburn, when it was Deontay Brown versus Derek Brown, bro, I do think Deontay got the better of that match.
Yeah, he got the better of him.
Myself, man.
He got the better of him. But I would say this: I really hate Brady Christensen is hurt because I would do a line change right now. I will have Brady Christensen play left tackle. Have Icky going ahead and playing that left guard. You have Bozeman and have Deontay Brown and Taylor Moton. Your run game is powerful right there because you have two pulling guards that are over 300, almost close to 300 pounds. And who is gonna, go for a mauling guard coming out of his pre-snap position and putting you on your bottom?
So you know what I would do? I would do Brady Christensen left tackle. I would do Kim Aquanu at left guard. Bradley Bozeman in the center. Yeah, and then Deontay Brown at right guard, and then Taylor Moton at right tackle.
That's what I just said. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. My microphone went out on me, but yeah, you're right. That's 100% what I've been saying for a long time now. And then imagine if you give Bryce some time to throw the football. Like, man, that would be the type of evaluation that you want right now to see from your quarterback.
But you got to look at it as too, Cody. That gives you your running game because again, you have pulling guards that are bigger than your normal guards that can run the ball. That's what Carolina identity is: running the ball first. We're not a pass team, a pass heavy team. If you look at the history of it, you can say Jake Delhomme did things, Cam Newton did things, but we ran the ball, and running the ball opened up the passing game.
But isn't this the time right now?
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
That's fine. Isn't this the time right now to try those things, to move some people around, to try some new plays, to try some new schemes? But with what Anthony was saying, if Scott Fitterer has been told that, hey, man, your job's on the line, doesn't that slow them down from doing that and make them play a little tighter or at least hold them back from making these changes and experimenting like they need to do and letting these young people play, just like Doug was saying? Put Jamie Robinson in the game. Why not? At this point, let him play. But now that if we're pinning the GM's job on our performance in these next few games, they might be reluctant to take those types of chances. But I think Doug's right. That's exactly what we should do. We should give some young guys a shot. Give them a go. Let them get them on the field. Give them some experience.
100%. And by the way, to blackball an enterprise, that was Deontay Brown, former guard at Alabama. He was the guard for Tua. He's played left and right guard. He's been on our team for a while now, but we've just never given him a chance. Y'all remember originally Matt Rule wanted him to lose a bunch of weight. Like they thought that he was too big, which again, I've always been of the mindset, bro, sometimes there's just some athletic big men, bro, that just play better at a heavier weight than other people do. Like there was a clip online of Deontay Brown dunking a basketball. And homie's like 360 pounds or something wild like that. So the dude has athleticism. I would just want to put that to good use and get that on our offensive line. Hey, let me welcome in JJ real quick. JJ, what up, homie? JJ, you muted, bro.
Of course it was muted. Yo, what up, dog?
What up? How you doing, man?
Nothing new. Another Friday. Hope everyone's enjoying their Friday. What's up? We talking Panthers ball?
Yes, sir. You already know. So let me ask you this, man. I know you're an Ohio State fan, so I know you probably don't have a lot of love lost for one Jim Harbaugh. But if I had to pose the question to you, who would you rather have in full control of the Carolina Panthers as both the coach and the GM? And I'm going to ask all of y'all this, so be prepared to come around because I want either or. Would you rather Jim Harbaugh or Bill Belichick with full control over the Carolina Panthers?
Harbaugh. Who else agrees with Harbaugh? Because I'm pretty sure that should be an easy answer.
Oh, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, Jim Harbaugh all the way.
All right, but give me some more than that. Why? Like, why would you prefer Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh actually has a little bit of success, proven success over his time in the NFL on the offensive side of the football, being able to create talent, elevate talent, and what's it called? Groom talent, I guess. Develop talent. There we go. Jesus Christ. I'm tripping. Anyways, develop talent. He's a big fan of the trenches, getting the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, having a big defense, physical, fast in the secondary. You know, a lot of the things you really want, and those are things that can turn around your entire football team because it all starts in the trenches. If you have a good O-line and D-line, you're gonna win games. Like look at the I mean, I was about to say look at the Steelers, but their O-line isn't that good, but they still make it work. They still their identity is behind their run game and the line of scrimmage. So they still make it work to a degree. And
it's almost like that's why they make it work. Because they so consistently run the football, they dedicate themselves to it. It helps them whenever they're trying to pass the football. You can get the quarterback out of the pocket. It just allows you to be much more versatile. Hey, real quick, shout out to Charlotte Sports One with the $10 love bomb. He said, much love, C3. Great show so far. Hit that like button, people. We appreciate you.
Hey, Cody. Also, real quick. And I think Harbaugh would be 100 times better at developing Bryce Young than Bill Belichick ever could.
Can I touch on that?
Yeah,
I agree totally. I agree totally with that. But I think a lot of people have forgotten, and I was a young kid seeing the Patriots dynasty. They were a dynasty, and it was a marriage between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. It was if you saw Bill, you saw Brady. If you saw Brady, you saw Bill. And if you look at the teams that they had, the number one thing that they always had was a defense. Their defense never changed. Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. Jim Harbaugh is the opposite. So then when you look at it, when they got Randy Moss, I'm just naming people off the top of my head. You know, they had Blunt. They had just different. They had Brandon Cooks. That's just names I'm coming off of that they had players to come in there and they never skipped a beat. But what's happened now is whenever Tom Brady left, they made a mistake by drafting the wrong quarterback. And I know that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows when I say this. What a lot of people are saying, oh, so did Carolina now with Bill Belichick, if Bill Belichick is Carolina's coach, are we going to have a rinse and repeat that they've had in New England with him not having the right quarterback underneath him? Again, Bill Belichick is not the offensive coordinator. Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. You have to get the right offensive-minded coach in Carolina if Bill Belichick takes the job. But I will give this one thing to Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has shown me a lot going to Michigan. If you look what he did at Stanford, if you look what he did in the league, he couldn't really do anything. He went back to Michigan. He does develop. Nobody thought Michigan would be the way that they are the last 2 years. They made the playoffs last year. They got embarrassed by TCU. They're going to make the playoffs again this year. Possibly could make it to the national championship. Just depends on who they match up with in the semifinals. If he does that, he's basically turned Michigan around. Because even if you look at the coaches that he has underneath him, the coach that was the interim coach went 4-0. Yes, I understand talent can outplay coaches, but for the turmoil that young team had and that team had, he has coaches on that staff that can definitely help. But he is at the top of the pendulum, at the top of the mountain that has made Michigan a known household name again in the college football world. So I do think he can make any team better. I will say this: if he does, I've heard his name get tied to Chicago. If he goes to Chicago, I do think that they will draft somewhere with their picks this year, Michigan's quarterback, and that's just I don't know how Michigan's quarterback can come into the league, but if you have that familiarity with your head coach and he knows his scheme, who knows what he can do? Because Chicago's defense is scary. Chicago's defense is definitely scary.
And they added Montez Sweat, so
yes.
they've got a pass rush over there now.
So just think about it. Let's just do a hypothetical. They get Marvin Harrison Jr. You have DJ Moore. You have St. Brown. You have I can't think of the other Mooney, and then you have the running backs that they have. They still probably need more O-line depth, and they draft Michigan's quarterback. Who's to say that the Chicago Bears can't do a turnaround what the Houston Texans did with Jim Harbaugh being at the helm?
Yeah, and man, he's a winner in the NFL. Like, there's a reason why all these NFL teams, they're not going to give a damn, even if he has to wait a 3-game suspension. Like, let's say he ends up coming to the NFL. There was a report that the NFL is probably going to give him a suspension for all the signal calling BS that he's going through with Michigan right now. And yet teams still don't care. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl with the 49ers, like you just said, turned around a bunch of college programs. He's a hot commodity right now. And a lot of people, I mean, listen, I've been hearing for 2 years how much Panther fans wanted Jim Harbaugh to be the Panthers. And we got excited last year when we heard the rumors that apparently David Tepper had met with Jim Harbaugh. So, if this is going to end up happening, maybe now is the time for it to do it.
I would say this: David Tepper is going to have to do more than open his pocketbook or write those checks this year. He's going to have to open his mouth and let the coach know in black and white, not word of mouth. I'm going to let you do football, and I'm going to stay on the investment side, because I think that is going to be the thing that's going to hurt him this offseason. He did it with Matt Rule, and a lot of people possibly could have came. But again, he has to verbally, on piece of paper, write in signature, I will be only on the football side. Because if he doesn't and he thinks he can write the biggest check out of anybody, nobody's going to come here. And I hate saying that because it's the reality of it. As bad as I want us to get Ben Johnson, Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, Evero, the person that I wouldn't mind is having Ejiro Evero be the new head coach. But he sees what's going on in that building every single day. So that's the reason why I'm very skeptical of anybody on the staff right now becoming a head coach. Now, if Evero takes it, hey, we're good. We just need to get an offensive-minded OC, because the defense is going to be fine. We're going to get a lot of people back. I do think we will trade some pieces, Jeremy Chin, Dante Jackson. Again, I really think Dante Jackson is on the chopping block. With Shaquille Griffin coming in, and Shaquille Griffin can have at least 3 or 4 picks in the last 6 games, Dante Jackson's gone for sure. He's gone for sure. Well, see, only reason why I think Shaq will stay, because you see what Shaq can bring. He may not start anymore, but Shaq, you saw a lot of those missing leadership roles that we needed when Shaq got out. I'm not saying Shaq is the old Shaq, but the leadership and the gap control, getting your linebackers in the right lineups, that's what he is known for. That is what he's known for.
Well, but I mean, I'm gonna be real though, and I said this earlier.
He's known for
knowing that he's on a short leash, I kind of think we might have seen Shaq Thompson play his final snap here in Carolina.
Yeah,
it kind of feels that way. And again, it's a testament to how we haven't drafted the linebacker position well at all since Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis exited this program.
We missed, Cody. We've missed because we drafted a linebacker and Brandon Smith. And what happened?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we never even played him. Never gave him a chance. That was another player I wanted to see so bad, and we never gave that man a chance. That guy was one of the most athletic linebackers to ever come out of the combine, and yet he didn't even get, I feel, he never even got the right opportunity to see the field.
And kept Chandler instead.
Oh, God, man. So annoying, dude. All right, man. So, look, I put up a poll in the chat if anybody would like to take part. I basically said, who would you rather have as the general manager / head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Jim Harbaugh or Bill Belichick? Right now, that poll with 22 votes has Jim Harbaugh with a resounding 57% of the vote. But man, listen, before we go any further, y'all know it's that time of the show. We can't go forward any further without showing some love to our sponsor, PrizePicks.com. Look, man, get on PrizePicks. They have been helping people win some money playing fantasy sports all year round. We've been doing it last year. We did it this year. We've been, dude, hey, I'm just saying they have some numbers that we really need to jump on, especially this weekend, man. Download PrizePicks today and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use the promo code C3 or use the link when you sign up. All first-time users that deposit and use our C3 promo code receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. If you deposit 100, PrizePicks will give you 100. If you deposit 50, PrizePicks will give you 50, man. So I kind of put together a little list, and this is what I'm looking like, man. Right now for the slate this weekend, I got Justin Herbert. And by the way, just so y'all know, I don't ever feel comfortable even looking at the Panthers numbers, y'all, anymore. If y'all want to go and look at the projection for the Panthers, bro, hit up PrizePicks.com and feel free to do so. I do not trust not on one of them, so I'm not doing it. I have Justin Herbert at more than 44.5 passing yards against the New England Patriots. A big-time matchup between the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. They have Christian McCaffrey at more than 0.5 of a rushing touchdown. Come on. You know my man Christian is good
that's
for that.
easy.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson, I have at more than 19.5 receiving yards. And the man, Travis Kelce, against the Green Bay Packers. All he needs is one touchdown. All it has to be is a passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, or a receiving touchdown, man. Listen, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to put mine in. Boom. If I hit on this $20, man, I could end up with $200 from PrizePicks.com.
I'm nervous about that Quentin Johnston one.
Yeah, I know.
Man, that
Yeah,
dude's been
out of all of
disappointing,
them, that was the one that I was the most hesitant about.
That dude can't catch a cold, man. Damn.
No. But man, he's gonna have to turn it on at some point.
He's gonna have to get 20 yards.
I'm gonna look at these sorry ass Panthers and take a look at what's going on. All right, they have Adam Thielen at 60.5 receiving yards. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Hey man, think about it, because last week he only had 2.
Yeah.
I think the defense is honing in on it.
Bro, what happened? He went from 8 receptions against Dallas to 1 reception versus the Tennessee Titans, man. What the hell happened?
Because defense
that man getting double teamed. He's the only weapon.
They doubled him on third down.
Man.
Yeah, but Tampa won't do that.
How about that? Brian Burns at 0.2.5 sacks. Man. Bryce Young. Let's look at what Bryce has got going on. They have him at 192 passing yards.
I could see that. I could definitely see that going over that.
Well, remember, who are they missing? Pickle, I don't know if I still have you, but I know they're missing someone. They're missing their linebackers.
Missing 2 of their linebackers.
Levante David. Yeah, Levante David. Yeah, and Devin White, they're out.
They're out.
Got to establish the run, man.
And their secondary's been poor all year.
Levante David is out.
Well, I actually think Baker's going to try to. Go ahead.
Jamel Dean, their corner, he's also out. Oh no, he ain't. Yes, he's out. He's out.
Their slot corner.
Yeah, he's out.
I think a lot of people are not talking about the Baker matchup. I think Baker's going to try to outduel. He's definitely going to try to show Carolina up.
Oh, he's
and
out.
I think when he did, but when the last time he did it, when he played Cleveland, what happened?
That's because he played for the Panthers at the time, you know.
So we're doing that. So do you really think outside of our offense, you really think Baker Mayfield's going to shred our defense like that?
Oh, look, check it out. They got Baker at 233.5 passing yards.
Well, is JC going to play?
He got Mike Evans.
JC's supposed to be playing.
We don't know yet.
I think Baker Mayfield.
I just saw it on my phone. JC Horn's questionable for Sunday.
Hey, how about that Baker Mayfield interception? All you need is one interception for Baker, man.
He'll throw it.
I think Baker Mayfield has a better day than Bryce Young.
Wait, when's the last week we got an interception?
I think so.
Thanks, Jake.
I don't even remember, man.
We're not a good.
When is the last time that we had an interception?
We're not a good turnover.
Vietnam.
It might be
Robinson?
the pick six.
Yeah, it was the
At the
pick
beginning
six,
of
right?
the game.
That Robinson.
99-yard pick six.
Yeah.
Josh Norman's pick six back in 2015. Oh, that too far back? My bad.
You know what? I think I'm gonna do Baker. I'm gonna put in one more. So I got Thielen. I don't know. I feel bad about this one. I got Thielen at more than 5.5 receptions. Bryce Young. I got more than 192.5. I'm hoping that he's able to hit that 200 mark. And I'm thinking they got Baker Mayfield at 32.5 pass attempts. Let me see what he's. So he fell short of that against Indianapolis, but he had 45 against San Fran. But you knew they were going to be behind against San Fran. They had to pass the ball. I kind of think they're going to establish the run. I think I'm going to do less for the pass attempts on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, they got a good running back too, I believe.
Yeah, man.
You talking about Rashad White?
Yeah.
Nah, he's mid.
Well, look, let's see where he's at. Rashad White, they have him at 68.5.
He might carve it up though.
Y'all think that's too high of a number? 68.5 rushing yards?
Rashad White is like
a receiving.
They're all a receiving back, all back. I would take him rushing and receiving.
Damn, he had 100 yards versus Indy. He had 100 rushing yards.
Exactly.
So he's gonna. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, he's legit. Like I said, he's a scat back. He does both.
Oh man, that's a lot though.
He don't got no real burst though. Like he be.
I mean, keep in mind he's only been over 68.5 2 times in the past 5 weeks.
Cody, look at his receiving. That's what I said. Look at his receiving as well.
They have him at 25.5. Let me see the previous numbers for him. Wow, he's been over more than 25.5 every game.
That's what I said. I said, look at his receiving.
Oh, all right, bet. I'm gonna take the receiving. Yeah.
Watch our defense lock that down though. All of a sudden.
I know, man.
I mean, but how are y'all saying that? Y'all just said Baker's gonna throw all over Carolina's defense. Y'all gotta make your mind up.
I
think Baker is gonna be in love with that check down. That's why I can see Rashad White getting more than 25.5 receiving yards. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna do another one. Adam Thielen at more than 5.5 receptions. I got Bryce is the one that gives me pause, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I have Bryce at more than 192.5. Baker Mayfield at less than 32.5 pass attempts, and Rashad White at 25.5 receiving yards. Snap! But y'all see it, man. I just put in the entries. I'm hoping to do some big things this weekend on PrizePicks. one more time, if y'all would like to be a part and jump in on this, download PrizePicks, play daily fantasy sports. Make sure you use the promo code C3 when you sign up. All first-time users that deposit and use our C3 promo code receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. If you deposit 100, PrizePicks give you 100. If you deposit 50, PrizePicks will give you 50. That's PrizePicks.com. So how are y'all feeling, man? Are y'all confident in the Carolina Panthers' chance against the division rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or are we looking at another hard-fought loss?
We're just.
I gotta look at another week. You gotta look at another week because I honestly think that New Orleans game.
Another L for the Carolina Panthers.
We don't play good on the road.
This will be our first road win of the season.
Yeah, I was about to say we haven't won one road game this entire year.
Put that weed down.
Because we've only won one game this whole year.
You want some, Jake?
Yeah.
We ain't winning shit. We ain't gonna win another game this year.
Yes, we is, bro. Bryce Young is gonna get us a few wins.
No, we're for sure gonna get at least one win. I mean, here's the thing: the only win that we got was with Thomas Brown calling the plays that game. He's now calling those plays, and you have to remember, there could have been a chance that Reich had been telling him like intervening with. So I don't think he really ever had full control. Now he does. So there's a better shot if any time. Now's the time that has like the opportune moment to possibly get some wins.
By the way, let me welcome the homie Strats back to the free for all. Strats, what's up, dude?
What's up? How you guys?
What's up, my computer looking at glasses wearing motherfucker?
Oh,
birds of a feather.
That's my brother right there.
Yeah, man.
I don't think that we're going to beat Tampa. I wish I did, but right now they got to prove me something. I've been saying it all year. They got to prove to me something, and they can't. They ain't proved nothing. So I mean, with no disrespect to Tabor, but he's a special teams coach, and I gotta see something to have faith anymore. I just don't got it.
I have a little bit more faith.
They've got to prove it to me.
I mean, haven't you
Let's
seen?
Just hope it's not 30 screen passes.
Is his demeanor, Chris Tabor's, is his demeanor a lot different than? Have you watched his press conference?
To be honest, I didn't watch his press conferences this week.
You know, he was there with Wilkes last year. He watched Wilkes turn it around. He knows the true key to how to get this to work.
Right.
That's true.
Well, it's not. This is not his first rodeo. He's done this before. He's been.
You don't have Foreman though.
Before.
Yeah, but I don't know if we
don't have a Foreman.
Well, okay, fine. Then let's do this. Last year Foreman was like heavy in the carries, right? But then Chuba Chuba was great up the center. It was only
Chuba's gotten better.
He is. And then the other thing is the quarterback, you got to say the quarterback has probably increased. I mean, Darnold, and he would only make they only had him throwing like a few times a game. They really didn't have him throwing that much. They weren't relying on him heavy. So those percentages kind of change a little bit. And I think if you open the run game up a little bit more, then you do. And they just signed, is it Strawn today? How do you guys not have any confidence in this, man? It looks a whole lot better.
Let me tell you why I don't have confidence, okay? I'll never forget the day Thomas Brown stood up on the podium and he said, when asked a simple question, with the offensive tackle struggling, do you consider putting a chip or a running back to help the offensive tackle? Here's because of the scheme relatively to the players are different. And he said, scheme is scheme. It don't matter. Their job to block. Well, there you go. I think that Tampa Bay will break the sack record on our ass because Thomas Brown won't change his attitude or his mind. And we ain't, no matter how much we want to be, we're not the Los Angeles Rams.
Hey, Cody.
Like I said, prove it to me.
Go ahead.
I see it.
Hey, now I was about to say, I'm about to walk in the house. I'm about to hop off, and I'm gonna be in the chat. and then hop back
man.
on, man. So I
appreciate you, man. Jump on anytime you'd like to, man.
Oh no, I'll be back, man.
All right. Cool. Appreciate you.
Have a good night, man.
But again, Pickle, let me play devil's advocate. Thomas Brown, he can play big shot all he wants and not adjust if he wants. But if the head coach comes in and says, "Look, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to try and turn these things around. We're gonna run the football, and you're gonna call the plays to do it." Like that's his boss now, man. Tabor's already been firing people. So what if there's a mandate that comes from Tabor that says, "Hey, man, I don't know how long I'm going to be on this team. I know I'm not going to be the head coach next year, but for right now, we're going to do what I said we're going to do."
My thing.
Hope I see that. But so far, proof's in the pudding. And proof is in the pudding that Thomas Brown is a Tepper guy. And Tepper may not let the special teams coordinator fire the offensive coordinator.
Did you
but
watch?
They should have made him the head coach instead of Tabor.
Pickle, did you watch Thomas Brown speak?
Not this week, I haven't.
All right, go watch that and go watch Tabor and watch all of those and then come back and let me know what you think. Not right now, I mean.
What did they say, though?
It's their demeanor.
I
It's
didn't
like,
see it either.
well, for one,
Do you watch it this week?
I do. Yes, it is a terrible. I have a problem. I need to probably not consume as much as I do, but yes, I do. Every single week, every single video, every single news article, every single Twitter, almost every single Twitter post I can. Yes.
I used to do that.
So what's happening now?
What did you hear that makes you think they might switch up the stuff?
The first point I would say to make here is that before Frank was gone. Was it Monday or Tuesday? Was it Tuesday? I think. No, Monday. He was gone. Before that point, Thomas Brown. I mean, when did you even see him? Did you see him at all? Really? I mean, maybe once during the year when the play calling changed, slightly before and then after. Other than that, we haven't heard from him. What I'm thinking is happening now is Tabor is more like, listen, I'm going to let you guys speak to your. Evero was there this week speaking. I think he's kind of like, listen, you take responsibility for the stuff that you got going on. You can speak to it better than I can. So I want you guys to get up there and get some FaceTime. And their demeanor is substantially different. So they've gone from, do you remember, I think when the play calling got taken back, if you remember how that video played out with Thomas Brown, he was kind of talking about like,
I'm a grown man. I know that this is what happens. Yeah. And he took the high road very clearly.
Exactly. Now his demeanor is, I mean, I forget the word for word verbatim, but it was something like there was some hidden nuances to what he was saying, where he was like, "Hey, it's a lot better now. I'm real happy. This is gonna be better. Just watch."
Okay. So, I hope y'all right. I hear you. I do, but haven't seen it.
Who was it against? Again, all these losses blurred together. So y'all gonna have to help me out. But which game was it that we went on like a 17-play drive? It was the longest of the season.
No.
It was the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. Okay, again, against one of the better teams right now, one of the better defenses, we put together a 17-play drive, running the football, being a downhill running football team. And we had our longest drive of the season and marched in for a touchdown. I don't understand, as a rational human being, let alone a paid NFL coach, how you don't look at that as the blueprint to having even at least a modicum of success going forward. Like, come on, man.
Why Reich got fired? It's why, because they're like the same report. He didn't want to run RPOs. He didn't want to do what the team's strengths were. He just wanted to go out there and tell everyone this is what we're doing, and that's what got him.
Is that Anthony?
And I know people are upset that Fitterer didn't get fired first, but this man Reich was he's always been a lame duck head coach, man.
I think
there was
Anthony.
nothing impressive about him.
I think he just became disinterested over time, and it just ground him down to the point where he was like, "Fuck, I don't care. I don't care anymore. You guys do what you want." And you had this this weird tension that I'm sure in the next few months we'll get some more articles that come out that will be like, "Oh, damn, I didn't know it was that bad." But what I think was happening was that there were just these. I mean, Cody said it a few times, and lots of other people said it about too many cooks in the kitchen, heads butting on which path to go. When you don't have a clear leader, you're sailing into the wind and you're changing direction every 10 feet. And you don't wind up in the direction you actually meant to go. So I think now there's more direction, and not only that, but stacked on top of that is I believe Tabor is empowering people around him to be like, listen, you're good at this. I trust you. You do this, okay? I'm not going to oversight this too much.
A leader. That's what a leader does. They're not necessarily trying to do everything. They're trying to put the best people in the best positions to be successful. And listen, man, I'm pulling for Tabor. We all know he's not going to be a head coach. This is nowhere near like what it was last season, where we all kind of felt like Steve Wilkes was auditioning to be the head coach. It clearly doesn't feel the same way now. But going forward, I do think that there are a few tweaks that you can change, change to make this team more successful than it has been. And I do hope you're right that we are going to see something different. And like I said, Tampa Bay, they don't really frighten me. Like, our defense has kept us in every game damn near. Minus against some of the better teams. And yet, it's the offense that's preventing us from taking that next step. If we can figure out how to be a little bit more potent on offense, and even if our defense is around the same as it is, bro, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is a winnable game in my opinion. Like, I don't know how there couldn't be a new energy right now after you fired your head coach in the middle of the season, in back-to-back years. If you're a player that's been through both of that, how does that not put a chip on your shoulder and motivate you to go out there and whip a little ass this Sunday? I don't know how it doesn't.
What I believe might happen is I don't know if we're necessarily going to win this game. I mean, we could. I think it's plausible, but I don't know that we win it. But I believe what we'll see is like a different. It'll look like a different team out there, and you'll be like, "Holy shit, they're actually making some progress here." That's the main thing we wanted. Make some progress from game to game, and then by the time we have the home game against the Bucs, that's when I think if this works out the way I think it will, I think we will see at least 2 or 3 wins.
At the end of the day,
I heard Mike.
Go ahead, Dominic.
I was gonna say, at the end of the day, if this offensive line can't hold up for Bryce, it's not gonna work. It's just period. If he can't, if they don't give him at least 3 seconds to throw, then this is not gonna work. I'm sorry.
Didn't we bring in an O lineman this week?
Yeah,
but we don't know what we got in him though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Apparently he's done well in Seattle and other places before. Gabe Johnson, I believe his name is.
Gabe Jackson.
He's been in the NFL. He's been in the NFL for a super long time. I don't see why he don't play.
Is this another Cam Irving pickle?
Oh no!
Oh gosh!
This guy's been a career starter.
I at least respect the decision that they're trying, because why weren't you hiring? I mean, you seriously looked at this O-line for that many games and we're like, no, we're good. No, we shouldn't bring in anyone to compete for talent. No.
Also, no one's talked about this. Don't y'all think that Scott Fitterer looks fucking stupid for releasing Throckmorton? That's why he immediately.
I've always said that. I've always said that was so dumb, man. Like, he was the one that was let go of because they could fire him without any repercussions because he wasn't under contract. Throckmorton started the last 7 games.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
What happened?
I'm just not I'm really not a big issue on. To me, Throckmorton is not a big issue at all, because Throckmorton barely played as a reservist again with the Titans. He just did. Throckmorton's a guy that you likely won't hear nothing from forever, from here on out. He's just not that. He just don't have a lot of talent. I mean, I'm sure he'll go somewhere and be a respectable backup, but that's just what he is. He's just a backup. And to be honest with you, I would rather, at his point of view, I would rather see more of the Nash Jansen guy. I would like to see some of these young kids play. I think it's useless to play all these old folks that don't mean shit. The Jackson guy, Gabe Jackson. He's been in the NFL for 10 years. For 10 years, he was drafted. He was drafted in 2014.
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Again, I'm not ever saying Doc Martin wasn't good. Just for the continuity's sake, to not have to go to a person like now Zavala is hurt. Now he's not getting time. He's not getting reps because he was out there when you shouldn't have been. Now he's hurt. But hey, I also wanted to
I understand. Everybody
Yeah.
wants continuity. What you just said, that word I can't pronounce. I
Continuity.
understand
We
that.
just can't.
But my point is there is good continuity when you're succeeding and you're having success, and there's you suck so bad you just throw it all away and start over. And that's
Well,
what
yes, but what they're doing now is they're trying to not micromanage. They're trying to they're in Fallout mode, and they're just like, let's do as good as we can with what we have, which is exactly what Wilkes did last year. And I'm not saying he's going to be Wilkes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they're trying to manage a poorly managed situation from the get-go. And you see things like when Strawn was brought in this week, where, I mean, how many of you were looking at the Chicago game going, are you serious? That was the deepest ball that we've caught all year in this dude's from the practice squad. And why aren't you playing him next week? Why aren't you trying him? And now we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it gives me a little hope is all I'm saying, that they might be managing it a little bit better.
Yeah. And like I said, I really want us to show up next week and everybody say, see, Pickle, we told you we could do it. I really want that to happen, but we'll see.
And so look, we've already asked about Harbaugh. We've already asked about Belichick. I feel like not everybody is fully pumped on those names. So now I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask who your preferred next head coach of the Carolina Panthers is. As I say that, from 2 days ago, a report from Josina Anderson of CBS Sports, the Panthers are expected to target Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson for the head coaching vacancy. This is the hottest name in football right now. He's pretty much at the top of everyone's list. So I'm going to ask y'all, what do you think about Ben Johnson? Is that the guy you want? And if not, who is the guy that you want? I'm going to start with my man. Welcome him back to the free for all. My man, Chuck. Chuck, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Happy Friday.
Friday.
So hopefully, maybe this Sunday will be some good news. But honestly, if I'm Ben, I would like Ben Johnson. But in my age, I'm not saying Ben Johnson personally, but his agent is probably telling him, "Yo, you got all the leverage, dude. You can get what you want from them. Like if you want to." Bring your own dude. Look, this is like, if I was Ben Johnson, I would try to get a bag as much as possible. Like if Tepper, because the Lions are going to the playoffs, and you still have to wait to hire your coach. So is Tepper going to be that patient? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that. Like, give me Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson is going to have leverage. He's going to bring. I mean, of course, he can make his own decisions with the coaching staff, but don't be surprised if you hear some rumblings about hey, I might want to do a Kyle Shanahan kind of thing where I want to bring my guy who's good enough. No, not the Kyle Shanahan thing. I'm sorry. The Bills thing where, hey, I want to bring my guy. I want to bring my guy who's would be a good GM. You want to take a look at him? That's what I think Ben Johnson should do.
Ben Johnson. That's who I want.
All right, tell me why, Anthony.
Well, because when you watch the Lions, hold on a second. When you watch the Lions, they run the ball efficiently in I formation, and it sets up easy play action. And Jared Goff is a lot of the quarterback that Bryce Young was kind of to be drafted in that same aspect. I think he'd bring in a power back. I think he'd be able to draft his own players and the scheme would fit to a lot of what Bryce Young can do. Bryce Young is not a drop back every time quarterback like, Joe Burrow right now. He doesn't have the weapons to do it. And I also think that he's just proven that, he showed last year that he wasn't ready for the job. And I respect that for him. He went back another year, had unfinished business. And I think he's going to be matured by the time that he's ready for this. If we did get him as the coach, I just think a lot of what he does is the offensive philosophy that I want to see here. That's my reasoning.
They need to roll Bryce out a little more.
Yeah, roll him out, and that's something that's on the table 100%. I just think we need to get. I think what he's doing in Detroit is what worked so successful last year for us. If you watch the Lions, so that's my reasoning for him. I don't want any of these old head coaches. There's a reason that they're going to get fired. There's a reason why all the hot candidates are these young, innovative guys. So that's my reasoning.
Can I also add this, please? Can I also? I forgot to mention. Can I also add this? In the situation with Ben Johnson, remember Jared Goff was a bust. Right was a bust. Who came and saved his career? Sean McVay, an offensive-minded coach. Jared Goff was horrible his first year with the Lions. Who saved his career? Ben Johnson. So in a sense, you really have to get situation. And I get it, the Evero guys, but the most important assets, like it or not, Bryce Young is the most important asset on this team. If you can help and develop him, everything else will fall into place.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've said this before. The name that I want is Bobby Slovic. Bobby Slovic comes from the 49ers. He's the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. We all know that the Houston Texans were head over heels in love with Bryce Young. I think that is the exact style of offense that would benefit Bryce Young. I'm down for it. And you know what? If there's any reason why the Panthers fans should be hopeful, and listen, I understand there has not been a lot of reasons to be hopeful, but I really do think there's a lot of good options for the Panthers at head coach. Like, I don't feel like, if we don't come away with Ben Johnson, now we're just hiring the best of the rest. Like, I feel like there's a lot of good names that can come here to Carolina and make a difference right now. I think Bobby Slovic is one of them. I think Ben Johnson is one of them. I feel the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, Brian Johnson, is one of them. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins is another one that I would consider. There's a lot of guys right now that I think are a really great option for the Panthers. And if we came away with any of those four, I would be ecstatic, man. I'd be happy.
I'm seeing someone in the chat say, Eddie, why would anybody else pick anybody options over Carolina and the other options? Well, the Chargers owner, I don't think people realize, doesn't have a lot of money compared to other billionaires. They don't.
Comparatively, yeah.
So in a sense where I don't know how that's going to be. And I
thought the Chargers owner was one of the richest because he outright bought. No, I'm thinking of the Rams. My bad, Chuck. My bad. I'm thinking of Kroenke.
He's a tenant. And the Chargers are a tenant to the Rams.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Hey,
you're right. Yeah, go ahead, JJ.
I bet. Two things real quick about Ben Johnson. As much as I would love to have him here as the head coach as the next guy, I do want to keep in mind two things I've heard over the time. Pickle one time said, you may love Ben Johnson, the play caller, but you don't know if you love Ben Johnson, the head coach. That's one thing I truly believe in. And the other thing was, what is Ben Johnson? I think Pickle also said this, but what does Ben Johnson look like when he doesn't have Dan Campbell working up those players and getting them to fight for them the way he does? And when you have somebody, a big leader like that, and you're just only calling plays and you have such good personnel, you got your head coach bigging up the trenches. The Lions have the best O-line in the league, so it helps. Yeah, so those were just two things I wanted to keep in mind when we talk about Ben Johnson. And I've hung on to those since I've heard them, honestly.
You mind if I add on to that point?
To that, though,
yeah, go ahead.
he learned from Dan Campbell about how to be that fiery guy to get your
facts.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, but really,
it's
not just about learning that though. I feel like you either have that in you to do that, or you don't. Like, not everybody's a rah in your face type of guy. By the way,
I would still love to get Ben Johnson, by the way.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't say that Kyle Shanahan is that type of guy. But no, JJ, you bring up a good point. Like right now, he's not the head coach. So there's always going to be that wondering. Well, how much of it is the head coach versus how much is the play calling that Ben Johnson is calling for the offense? And that's a great point. You have to look at that too. Even with Philadelphia, with Brian Johnson, I mean, they have Jalen Hurts. They have all these receivers over there. They have a good offensive line. Like, it's hard to necessarily know how much is good play calling versus personnel.
Would you guys be?
Go ahead.
Would you guys be? And I know Pickle brought this up. Bill O'Brien.
Let me tell
not
you.
the GM, not the GM, Cody, the coach.
Right.
No, but what about it? I mean, just look
well,
at what he's been able to do as a head coach. Last time he was a head coach was with the Houston Texans. Offensively, he did wonders at Alabama. And he did decent here and back in New England underneath Bill Belichick.
Oh yeah, and listen, a lot of people.
When have you started watching football? Like 3 years ago. He was great in Houston. He got
so
fired
hard.
because of GM.
Okay. So the reason why I have a problem with that, when you have two of your best players to come out, and like I said, you can say I've been watching 3 years. When you have two of your best players come out and say that basically he had a narcissistic type of mentality and attitude, and that was J.J. Watt and Deontay Hopkins coming out and saying about him. What do you mean by that?
Right, but I'll also say this though, and Stratz, I'm gonna let you go right after this.
Right.
There was another guy in that building. I forget his name, who was like the Jack Esterby. They had this dude named Jack Esterby inside the organization that apparently was wreaking havoc on that organization from behind the scenes. Look, I understand that a lot of people.
We have one too. His name is David Tepper.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
But look at it this way: a lot of people turn their nose down at Bill O'Brien. I understand he is not the first choice for a lot of you. But what I am going to say is you could do a whole lot worse than Bill O'Brien. Because to juxtapose what Doug just said, he was in the playoffs almost every year, even before they had Deshaun Watson. They made it deep into the playoffs with Deshaun when he was the coach of the Texans. Then goes to Alabama. Alabama, he's the offensive coordinator for the season that Bryce Young literally won a Heisman and almost threw for 5,000 yards. The offensive play caller was Bill O'Brien. Oh, and by the way, he does have a Super Bowl ring with the New England Patriots. So if you're looking based on resume alone, based off of what they've been able to do in the past, and you already have someone who has spoken glowingly about Bryce Young throughout the entire draft process, saying that he was one of the smartest players that he had ever had the opportunity to coach. Man, that might be the guy that you want to believe in your quarterback for the long term, and who knows how to utilize him to the best of his ability. You could do a lot worse than Bill O'Brien. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point there with that. But I think I would hope that everyone now notices how absolutely difficult it is to get this right, because there are just so many variables behind. You could have like the perfect coach, but you may not get along with that coach. You may not get along with, and that might, or maybe they don't. I don't know. I mean, we're dealing with humans, right? We're dealing with people. We're not necessarily dealing with like commodities. So it's such a more complicated landscape to navigate. And you could have this fantastic coach that you could bring in, and he might not click well with everything, and his paradigm might be different than what they're on different wavelengths, and so it screws things up. What I would say to kind of feed off that point would be I would be patient with seeing how the rest of the season plays out before obviously making any decisions like between now and then. I mean, because here's the thing: what if we get to a point where you start to see things click with this offensive coordinator we have now? You start to see things click with the team in itself. We don't know. There's this week alone, we've had so many random variables change that it only would make sense to kind of watch how this unfolds and then start toward the end of the season to consider what's going on and make decisions based off that, because there's a good chance that the guy that we have, bet on your own people. There's a good chance that the guy we have is already here. And
so
we made that mistake last year with not following through on Wilkes.
All right. So with that being shared and with that being said, who in particular are you talking about when you say? I actually like you make that point, because a lot of us jumped the gun and said we didn't want Steve Wilkes after he basically made a locker room and was the leader of men that we needed. So who in particular are you looking at when you say that we might need to look at the coaches on the roster? You time out Thomas Brown. You did say if the offense does look a certain way with Thomas Brown, are you talking about Evero? I don't think Chris Tabor will be the head coach. So it's to me, it's only two people that you're talking about. Right?
It's a cop-out answer that I'm going to give you here, but my answer is going to be the same one I just mentioned about a minute ago. We should be patient and we should watch the entire rest of the season, and then we can come down to determinations on who we would think, because it might be the case that Tabor. I mean, I don't know. It could be, or it could be that
just hear what he said though. You can tell Tabor doesn't want a head coaching job.
I agree with you. He might. I don't know. He's on the fence, it feels like.
Let's be honest. We heard what he said. You heard it for himself. 15 years being special teams. He's not.
It sounded like he was being really humble. It sounded like he was being humble about it, and you know what? That's a fact that that's a quality that I would like to have in a head coach.
Yeah.
So the question I was asking
it does feel like it does feel. And I said this earlier. I don't know if y'all. Well, I don't know if I said this Tuesday or not, but it feels to me like it's different between Tabor and Steve Wilkes. It doesn't necessarily feel like Tabor is interviewing for the job, whereas it definitely did for Steve Wilkes. We say that he doesn't want to be a head coach, but when dangle the opportunity in front of you, you never know. Maybe he might want that type of thing. However, I think we can realistically look at it and say that David Tepper is going to bring in a big-time hire.
Of course.
He has to.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I hope that's the point I was trying to make, is that, he was impatient when he first brought in Rule. That was an impatient move. He wasn't impatient in firing him. That I wish he was. He wasn't. Then he was impatient a little bit, I think, with maybe not impatient, but he kind of pulled the same thing last year, where he's like, well, Wilkes isn't going to be a big enough splash. And that feels like what he was trying to do with that. But what I would hope is that he would be a little patient in this and see things. Here's the thing. You already have Bryce going through. I mean, how many people have you heard talk about how Bryce is a detriment toward a quarterback developing in rookie year and going onward is having like 5 different bosses, basically, where you're like, holy shit, I don't know, I'm dragged in this direction and that direction, and then it breaks a person. It screws you.
The analytics, statistics.
What would be the downside to having Thomas Brown if this is a big if, we need to see again how the season plays out. If we progress from now to the end, why not just like take a breath and just be like, let's just keep it for a second.
I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question because we need an offensive coach as much as possible. The analytics stats says that, the analytics stats say that Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett had better rookie seasons than Bryce Young. That
you're saying you need an offensive-minded head coach, because you've lost me on that argument.
No. Let me finish. Bryce Young is the stats equivalent to Josh Rosen. And you remember what happened to Josh Rosen when they had the number 1 pick? They went ahead and got a quarterback. You can't fuck around with this new head coaching thing. You can't.
Well, we just did this year. I don't know what to tell you. We did already.
But you can't fuck around with this next one. You can't.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying to be patient. So it depends well on what the progress. If you see progress from here till the end of the season, I would say don't touch it. It's working. Just leave it alone for a few games, for a month, for a year, for as long as you see that progress continue. Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Well, I mean, with that, right now, one thing
that's what we hoped. That's what many of us hoped they would do last year, stats, and they didn't. When many of us said, just keep rule, just keep forming. Let's build what we've got. Let's work and let's develop and let's slowly evolve into the offense you want. Or they didn't do that. They said, nah, fuck it, we're going to do something.
Well, hopefully that's what I'm saying. If that plays out the way it does, I hope Tepper has learned a lesson from last year and goes, let's build off this.
Because you can't assume the division is going to be bad. They assume they play their hand and assume the division is bad. Now the division is still bad, but okay, people, the Atlanta Falcons, the Saints, they're building. Well, not the Saints. I don't feel the Saints, but the Falcons are building pieces where they're going to be a respectable team. You can't rely on the division being ass and you're going to win it at 8-9 and 9-8. No, you have to build for the long haul.
It just seems like gambling if you just keep throwing people in there and just, hey, what about this? What about that?
100%. But again, it's like even the type of turnaround that we're seeing, like it's hard to even imagine what kind of turnaround even has to happen before someone on this team would get that job too, right? Like if you're thinking about like a Ivero or a Thomas Brown, I don't know, man. I just think it would have to be something drastic. But I do understand the want to kind of take a step back. Let's see how the season plays out, and let's see what we're able to accomplish before we make this decision. To me, that sounds more than reasonable. I have no problem with that at all. And inevitably, you're going to have to use this time to evaluate the roster and evaluate your coaching staff that you have in office.
Well, let me ask you this, Cody. If you throw Ivero in there, I don't know 100% about his, I haven't followed his background enough to know all this, but you throw Thomas Brown in there, this is his first year coach. Like this is arguably what his fourth game as an offensive coordinator. So he's already getting used to the waters of that, and you want to throw more responsibility at him. I mean, we forget that this is human. They're humans in these positions that have feelings, and there's life going on around them, and maybe there's children being born. Like there's all these complicated things going on. So throwing more responsibilities at someone just because, like, oh wow, they've done great as a offensive coordinator. Oh yes, for sure, they've shown leadership. We should immediately give them the keys to the kingdom. No, I mean, give him what would that man look like if he had a whole nother season being an offensive coordinator? He'd just build on leadership. He'd be even better as a head coach at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then especially after last year's drafts, a lot of people feel kind of duped after we didn't give Steve Wilkes the opportunity to kind of do what you're talking about. Like you saw a team moving in the right direction. They had a lot of injuries at some key positions that mattered a lot. And a lot of people think that is who we should have gone with and that he was the man for the job. We might never know, man. So, hey, listen, I normally go 3 hours. We're going to go 2 tonight. What I want to know from each and every one of you is who wins the game and who is your player of the game. And what would you say is the final score for this Sunday's matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers? Dominic, I'm going to start with you, brother. I appreciate you coming on the Free For All, man. Hope you come on more Fridays in the future. You were great. We loved having you. What are you feeling about this Sunday, man? What's the final score? Who's going to win? And if you had to pick a player of the game, who do you think it'll be? Dominic, you there? Yo, Dominic, you there? All right, we'll come back to Dominic. Let me go to my man, JJ. JJ, you there? Well, damn, everybody just jumped off a bridge or something? What the hell? Well, all right, damn it. All right, let me go to my man, Strats. I know Strats is here. Strats, give me your, everything I said. Final score, who is the player of the game, and who wins?
It's gonna be it's so tough. It's gonna be one of those games that you gotta like watch it play out, and then it will change. I think it will change your opinion, at least solidify it one way or the other. I think we probably lose. I think we do better than we've done before. I think we see progress, was which we were looking for the entire season long. I think Baker does mediocre. I'd say we would be about like, I don't know, 13-16 or something like that.
All right, 13-16. Did you have a player of the game?
Ooh, this is tough if it's a defense or offensive player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the defensive player and say that Baker throws some picks and gets rattled. So I'll pick I don't know. It's tough now. I don't remember who's IR or not. Give me a defensive player that you feel confident in this game.
Derek Brown's going to have a good day.
You know what? All right. I like that. Yeah. All right, I'll go with that.
All right. So you said 13-10, and Baker Mayfield. Man,
or 13-16.
Or 13-16. You said the Panthers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back, Cody.
Panthers lose.
Panthers. Okay, so we lose by a field goal. All right, cool. Dominic, let's go back to you. I appreciate having you, man. Give me your final score, who wins the game, and give me a player of the game.
Man, damn, this one's tricky, man. You know what? I'm gonna go. Well, no, never mind. I'm not gonna choose the Panthers. I'm gonna go. I'll say it'll be.
Go with your gut, man. Whatever your gut is telling you. If it's telling you Panthers, then tell me Panthers, bro.
I'm gonna say if I do go Panthers, I'm gonna say it'll be probably it's gonna be a real low scoring game. I'll say it'll be like 18 to maybe like 14 or something like that. I feel like we'll really hold. I think we'll hold Tampa. I really don't think Baker's gonna open up the field like that. And like I said, our defense has pretty much been manageable with the injuries we got. So honestly, I feel like we're gonna slightly pull it out, see some more running of the football, and player of the game. I'm gonna say it, Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba, bro. Everybody about to start putting some respect on Chuba's name, man.
Yeah, honestly, man. I know Tony been giving you hell for it, man.
I know.
Yeah, but
bro, yeah, Chuba is underrated, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really is. Yeah. All right, Dominic, I appreciate having you, man. JJ, are you there finally? Hell no, I'm dropping his ass to the background, JJ. You disappoint me, damn it. Disappoint me, man. Hey, TJ, I see you in the background, man. It's at the end of the show. I'll let you make your final prediction, though, man.
You're shutting it down?
Yeah, we're shutting it down. We're getting out a little early, but I'll let you give me your final prediction. Who wins? Panthers and Tampa. What's the final score? And who is the player of the game?
Tampa Bay 21-17. And Mike Evans. If Mike Evans is on the field, it's Mike Evans.
All right, Mike Evans, 21-17. I like that. JJ back in the building. JJ, you there? JJ, unmute your microphone, bro. What you doing?
My fault. I said yes, sir, right away, and I was like, God damn it. That happens to you every time.
Bro, you gotta keep that mute button. Yeah, go ahead. Prediction, who wins, and your player of the game.
I'll go with the Panthers 19-16. Eddie Pinheiro as the player of the game.
19-16, player of the game. Do I sense a walk-off touchdown?
Field goal.
Field goal. Yep, that's what I said. See, we're both allowed to make mistakes, JJ. All right. Cool. Let me go to my man, Panther Pickle. Pickle, you know, I appreciate you, brother. Give me your final score, your player of the game, and who's going to win.
Is Jacob in here?
No.
No, Jake dropped out, man.
And I told you Washington was winning.
He's a damn dropout.
Panther offense is ranked 31st. The Bucs offense are 24th. The Panthers defense is ranked 5th in the NFL. The Bucs defense is ranked 24th. Our passing is 30th, and the Bucs is 17th. Our rushing is 29th. Theirs 31st. Now, all that being said and done, and looking at everything, I think the Panthers, I think it's going to be a relative 14-10 Bucs.
14-10 Bucs. Who's the player of the game?
My player of the game is Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Dang. Hate to see it, man. Pickle, you sound like a Baker Bottom if I ever saw one.
Man, shut the hell up.
After this game, they're going to be calling.
You know what? When you come to Spaces, you're going to have technical difficulties.
Ah, damn it, man.
Yo,
See
Pickle, after this game, they're going to be calling him Cooked Mayfield.
Yep.
Hey, I hope you're right, man. I really do.
All right.
I'd like to see Baker have so many tipped interceptions that it actually he actually gets one touchdown and we get like 4 picked interceptions.
Hey man, hey y'all
like to humiliate him. I want to see him. I want to see him on his knees screaming, "Stop the pain!"
Well, Derek Brown's going to start getting bad at
the total opposite will happen of what.
Yeah, I can tell nobody heard what JJ just said. Hey, by the way, use promo code C3 on PrizePicks. They got Baker at 0.5 of an interception, and he's thrown an interception the past like 3 or 4 games in a row. So get in on that action, boss. Next up, it's my man. We always save the best for last. It's my man, the brand ambassador, DL Scales, my brother. Who will be your player of the game? What will be your final score? And who will be the victor in this Sunday's 425 division rival matchup?
Frankie Louvu has already been able to be NFC Player of the Week once this season already. I really feel like if Louvu plays at that kind of level, he literally elevates the defense. That's the kind of player that we need on our offense, and that's what we're hoping that Bryce Young can do. Unfortunately, the projection has been putrid this season. It's crazy to me that we've got a guard that we signed on Monday or Tuesday, and he's going to be playing Sunday, but he probably will because the talent and depth is that poor right now for the Panthers, especially at the guard position. If Louvu can get us a turnover and a sack and like a big pass breakup, that might be enough to do it. If we might be able to hold the Buccaneers to like 10 points. And then for the Panthers, we need to see a change. We need to see a change on offense. And maybe that's why they signed that guard. We need to develop some kind of rhythm in the running game. We've done it before, but then abandoned it late in the game. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Bradley Bozeman said that, it was the right choice. It was the right choice that David Tepper made. I mean, he literally come out and said that it was the right thing to do to fire Frank Reich. So with that kind of news, I have some sort of hope for the Panthers offense. We've been on the borderline of watchable the last 2 weeks. The 3 weeks before was horrible. I get that. But I feel like the Panthers can get 2 touchdowns against the Bucs coming up here on this Sunday. I think maybe one rushing touchdown for Chuba, and then probably one passing touchdown for Bryce Young. Probably that Strachan guy or just something crazy, unexpected, and it breaks loose. Like we needed that to happen all season, and it hadn't. Like just 2 broken tackles or 1 broken tackle, and we could have touchdowns that we haven't seen. So maybe it happens this Sunday. I'll give us another field goal on top of that. I'll say Buccaneers 10, Panthers 17. Let's go Bryce Young. We need something good. Let's go Chris Tabor, man. I'm cheering for that guy. He's a great dude. Even Frank Reich got fired. He was still a good guy. Deuce Staley liked him too. This is a much different departure than it was in the Matt Rule era, at least to me anyway. These guys leaving this year. But I do feel hopeful. I feel hopeful that David Tepper is going to put together an incredible trifecta of himself, Bill Belichick, and then Scott Fitterer as GM. And then this podcast is going to absolutely explode. We're going to cook those guys each and every week next season because they're going to put that mess together. I know every Panthers fan is afraid of it. I know you are too, Cody, from what you were saying earlier. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Friday Free-for-All. This is a C3 Panthers podcast. My name is D's Ill Skills. Cody Lackney has been your host. We thank you for joining, and we'll catch you next time right here, 7 p.m. on Friday, the Friday Free-for-All.
Keep pounding, baby.